Kind of scary out there, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's talk mainstream media. They have been laser focused on attacking President Donald Trump and blaming President Donald Trump for the coronavirus. I mean, you see them. This is the same mainstream media that are showing videos of hospitals that are completely overwhelmed, and then come to find out these are hospitals in Italy. In the meantime, we have viewers sending us videos that are showing hospitals across the nation that look like virtual ghost towns because this big overwhelming population of coronavirus patients never arrived at those hospitals. What role do you think the mainstream media has played in all of this?
Earlier today, I was a witness in the International Tribunal Against Injustice, and this hopefully will be brought to The Hague as a war crime or as a crime against humanity. And they asked me the same question. Mainstream media, as far as I'm concerned, they're not complicit with this. They are the causative agent for this, and that they should be held accountable. And I'm not talking about financially responsible. I'm talking about criminally responsible, with not only the companies themselves, but the corporate heads and even the stockholders being held criminally responsible for the number of deaths that have occurred. And these deaths that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the so-called COVID-19 elevated deaths or the numbers that have been inflated. I'm talking about the actual deaths that have been caused because of this mayhem. The number of child abuse cases that have skyrocketed since people have been restricted at home. The amount of depression that's resulted in suicides because people are scared and they're depressed. The amount of spousal abuse that's occurred. The number of people that have not gone to hospitals now because they're afraid of taxing an overtaxed hospital system, which is absolutely fraudulent. By the number of people that have not gone to the hospitals because they're scared that they're going to catch this imaginary COVID-19. Now, when I say imaginary COVID-19, there is a COVID-19, but what I'm talking about, the fear that has been propagated by the media, that's imaginary. There is no such thing as this virus that leaps 6 feet first, now 13 feet, and happens to be very, very intelligent and starts at Wuhan, jumps over Beijing and Shanghai and causes no problem, and then jumps into New York. This is completely fabricated. Issue that's happening in New York, those people are being injured. They're being injured because the normal protocols are not being followed. They're bypassing CPAP and BiPAP. They're jumping right into endotracheal intubation. And once you jump right into endotracheal intubation, you're going to cause other types of problems like barotrauma, with aspiration pneumonia, all sorts of other types of issues. But the problem is that even the types of things that they're doing, the doctors that I know in New York, and a lot of our patients are physicians. We have 20 to 25% of our patients are physicians. I have a number of doctors that I've either trained or that I've known from my own training or that are patients of mine in New York that are saying the same thing. This is not a viral injury. We don't know what this is. This is a hypoxic type injury. This is like altitude sickness. And the doctors that have spoken out to the media, they have now been or put out videos on YouTube. They've been censored and removed from those ICU units. The nursing staff that are in some of these hospitals, they are appalled. Yesterday, there was a release of a video that you may have seen where a nurse said that they are literally murdering people, not following the protocol that has been established. Respiratory therapists are not being allowed to help these people. Codes are not being responded to. There is something that is stinking in this whole story. And I believe it's because of the agenda that they're trying to propagate, which is a mandatory vaccine.